What's up with Nico? What's up with DeMeco? Practice report, Texans, Lions, Sunday. Interesting stuff going on. Let's solve all the world's problems in another live edition of The Locker Room.
Yeah. It's The Locker Room on YouTube. You know what it is. Let's get it. Hey, Locker Room. Yeah, we in the locker room. Texas talk. Yeah, you know what we about to do. Localize every angle's what we really do. We the source, we the pulse of the city too. Landlocked, got the game in the headlock. Localize everything.
It is the Locker Room, number one source for Texans digital content. Texans return to the practice field. I was on the scene. There was some stuff that wasn't going on. There was some stuff that was going on. And DeMeco Ryans, I can't really figure this guy out. Is he kind of doing something that he claims not to do? We'll get to that. Be sure to subscribe, like, right along. Let's start, though, right off the top. We walked into practice. First thing we do when we go into practice, we grab a roster. So Maria from PR, she hands you the roster. You look on the roster. You look at the very bottom, injured reserve section. Nico Collins, not active. Now, what do we make of this with the Nico Collins thing? Because I'll be honest, I thought perhaps we would see Nico today. I will say this, though. The Wednesday day is basically a walkthrough. The Thursday is really the only full contact type of practice. So Nico Collins, if he doesn't practice tomorrow, then we start speculating. We start wondering whether or not he's going to be on the field Sunday. But I wouldn't be shocked to see Nico Collins tomorrow. If not, the conversation completely changes. I saw Aaron Wilson put this out. I didn't know what to make of it. I guess that he's healthy, but he's not. Let's see. What did he say? Shout out to Aaron Wilson. He said, Texans wide receiver 1 Nico Collins has passed all tests for hamstring. No setbacks per league sources. Regained speed, mobility, ready to go. Matter of when, not if he'll be designated to return. Team still determining if activating him for Lions game. Might not practice today. Well, we'll have to see then. I would not be shocked to see Nico tomorrow. If you don't have Nico, I think you might have a real problem because I think the wide receiver depth is an issue. There seems to be some confidence, though, with the with the team. CJ Stroud today had something interesting to say, and I kind of want to dive into this more so tomorrow, like in depth. We're more so going to focus on DeMeco Ryans and what he had to say. But the theme today for CJ Stroud was the team needs to have more fun. And that was his big takeaway is we need to have more fun. And I give him credit because I think that's a good attitude to have. That's a good mindset to have. But I also I don't know how the hell you have fun if you're CJ Stroud behind that offensive line, which DeMeco Ryans continues to be very defensive about. But I don't know how in the hell, if he can have fun behind that offensive line, more power to him. I think CJ Stroud is better this year than he was last. I just don't think his offensive line's been good to him. But if CJ Stroud is able to have fun behind this offensive line, more power to him. And I'll dive a little bit more into that tomorrow. We'll get into the CJ Stroud thing. It's just hard not to gravitate and buy into what CJ Stroud has going. We already got heritage, not hate, calling him platitude DeMeco. Yeah, the DeMeco thing is really interesting. I don't know what the hell is going on with him, and quite frankly, I don't want to say he's being a little bit hypocritical, but he's damn sure not doing what he says he claims to do. And I'll tell you what that is in a second when we hear from him. But first, let's continue to give the practice update. There was no Dameon Pierce. He was not on the practice field. Look, the durability concerns are a thing with Dameon Pierce, and the ability to produce as an RB2 are concerns as well. The Cam Akers trade looks really weird right now. It looks really strange. Now, are we going to see J.J. Taylor get more run as the RB2? Probably. Is Joe Mixon capable of carrying the load? Yes, but you would like to have someone that can continue to set the tone and give him a little bit of a breather. But the Dameon Pierce thing is interesting just because it's been an inability to get on the field, whether it's because they didn't trust you or because you just weren't available for a large chunk of his 2.5 seasons of playing football. I don't even know how huge of a deal it is. Quite frankly, he is your number one kick returner, but just can't figure out the Dameon Pierce, and I guess he kind of can't catch a break. That's the bad news. The good news, you did get Azeez Al-Shire back. He's on the field. We kind of anticipated this. And you also got Jimmie Ward, who met with the media. I was in the scrum. Watch this with Jimmie Ward. He's asked about the fun comment from CJ Stroud. And I thought this was an interesting look from Jimmie Ward. Now, he's always kind of given the interesting looks, but let's hear from Jimmie Ward. This was Jimmie Ward, his first words in over 4 weeks, because we're not allowed to talk to injured players.
Got everything you need out the background?
How you feeling? You ready to play?
Feel great. Can't wait. Prime time, Sunday, Detroit Lions. Let's get it.
How hard was it to have to sit back and watch 4 games?
Listen to this.
It's always hard.
Listen to this insight right here. I mean, we're talking about a guy who's played 10 plus years, but listen to this. Listen how deep, listen how much depth this is. Like, is this guy think he's near the end or what? They did give him that random-ish 1-year extension, but listen to this.
And it's always a blessing, when I'm on the field, I try to take advantage of my opportunity. You never know when this game can be gone, or you just never know when it's your last play. So every time I'm out there, I just take one play at a time, one game at a time.
What do you make of what Goff's been able to do, specifically this season? Seems like a different guy than the Rams days and maybe even the early days with the Lions. What do you kind of see from him?
I feel like he's the same Goff from the Rams. He's always efficient. Takes what the defense gives him, and smart quarterback. And he got him to the Super Bowl when he was at the Rams. So got a great team on with Detroit Lions right now. Great defense, offensive line blocking. Got 2 great running backs over there. Set of young wide receivers, pretty good. It's going to be some great tight ends. So it's going to be a great challenge for us.
How do you punish quarterbacks that just take what's there? How do you make that work against them a little bit?
It comes down to tackling. It's like we gotta tackle those guys, because when you get those guys, really he's just trying to get them guys the ball in space, and they pick up a lot of yak, and they force a lot of missed tackles. So, and I'm pretty sure y'all been watching that over 9 weeks? What's this, week 9, week 10? So, that's what it's gonna come down to.
CJ was saying he wants this team to have more fun. They want
There
to
you go. Watch this space.
You guys need to enjoy yourselves more. As you've been watching the team, have you noticed the lack of passion? Have you noticed the lack of anything like that this team needs?
I can't tell. I'm looking at the defense, looking at K4 and looking at Petrie. I don't know. Them guys always hyped up. CB and guys always amped up. So, but I get where he's coming from. I just feel like just on like every side of the ball, like offense, special teams, and defense, I feel like we just need more juice. So that's probably what he's saying. Okay.
All right, there you go. I mean, I think it's clear the defense is definitely the class of this squad. I think we can all agree with that. But Jimmie Ward coming back, I mean, it doesn't hurt you, especially against the Lions team. The physicality, it's really just a matter of how long is he going to be there. Like, you just assume he's going to get hurt. Like, you assume Jimmie Ward is going to miss, best case scenario, a few more games. He's getting up there, and that's what makes, like, we talk about some of the bizarre things that this team has done, and it's not really nitpicking. It's just they're graded on a higher scale. They're in an honors class right now. It's not like I heard DeMeco say we're a good football team, and we'll get to it in a sec, but who's not saying they're good? Now there's a different scale, like an honors student, which is where the Texans are trying to go. Like, they're good is not. It's a different scale. Like, you want an honor student to do great. You can't just be good. But DeMeco's getting really weird in the press conferences with the way that he's answering stuff and the way he's talking about it. Before we get to that, though, let's hear from Tim Settle. Tim Settle, he had some quotes before I even started pressing play. He said something like, yeah, we lift. We're ready for the Lions. I mean, this guy has set the tone for this team for a while. Just listen to Tim Settle. Tell me if he's ready to go on Sunday or not. Look at Kunkel looking into those eyes. What is going on there?
When it comes to the line of scrimmage, I got us taking that, they can take it personal how they want to. We know what we got to do.
DeMeco was talking about you guys need to finish and execute. What is not allowing that to happen in your eyes?
Just playing together. Everybody in their gap. Everybody getting off the rock. Everybody getting to the ball. Everybody playing good team defense. And everybody playing good team offense. Both sides of the ball. We need to win on the line of scrimmage, and we need to dictate this game how we want to dictate it.
Tim, I know you're all about looking good, man. Like
Oh man, shoot! You got to shine when it's prime time, baby. Come on, the lights come on. What you gonna do?
Tim, is there anything looking on tape, looking at the camera, the tackles and the guard, the guards and the center, it's sort of unique about what y'all have to deal with in the past? Is there something unique about this line? How tough they are? Just
I don't know what they got going on. I know they got to deal with us. I know they probably getting asked the same question. So, who's he gonna bring it on Sunday night? I plan on having a big game. It is what it is. I'm not gonna shy from it. They take it how they want to take it.
Does Sunday night excite you a little bit more? You like Sunday night? Does it get you a little more?
Any type of prime, every game I love, but prime time, everybody sitting back watching. You stressed out about all of what happened that day. Enjoyed it, and we're gonna put on a show.
I love Tim Settle, dude. I absolutely love Tim Settle. He's been a nice addition, man. And the running joke, it was the day that Armstead signed was, they settled for Tim Settle. And it was kind of funny this year. He kept saying in the locker, "Hey, man, I'm about to have a good game. You are going to want to talk to me." And he kind of just real dries the first few days, first few weeks. And then he had the 2 sacks against Minnesota, losing effort. So he was a little bit quiet, but he's one of those tone setters, one of those veterans. And I think he's done an excellent job. It's been a really good find by the Texans front office and by DeMeco Ryans. And I do find it interesting that, and I don't know what to make of this. And it really doesn't matter because they are a package duo. But if you look at Nick Caserio and you look at DeMeco Ryans, since DeMeco has been here, the moves have been pretty solid. The guys that they've brought in have been pretty solid. And I don't think Nick Caserio is bringing in guys without talking to DeMeco Ryans. But if you look at it, and I was actually talking to Adam Wexler of Sports Talk 790 before practice and Stutz and I, and we're just kind of BSing before they let us in. But you look at all the moves they made this offseason, just this offseason. What was the mistake? And this is with the DeMeco Caserio collab. What was the mistake? Diggs trade worked out fine until he got hurt. Danielle Hunter's been one of the best free agent signings. Tim Settle's worked out. Joe Mixon has been, who knows where this team would be without Joe Mixon. The draft, they got Kamari Lassiter. They got Fisher. I don't know too many people complaining about their draft. And the year before that, they had perhaps the best draft in franchise history when they went and got Will Anderson, CJ Stroud, some of the one-year deals that they signed there. Those are DeMeco and Caserio collabs. Now, you can say, well, the offensive line has been a joke. I don't disagree with that. The offensive line's been terrible. But let's look at the biggest question marks on this ball club right now. Kenyon Green, Nick Caserio drafted him before DeMeco got here. I won't say John Mechie's one of the bigger question marks, but it does seem like he's one of their favorites. And then Dameon Pierce can't stay healthy, and they keep Dameon Pierce around as an RB2. Those are 3 guys that Nick Caserio drafted before DeMeco got here. Now, he hit on Derek Stingley. I think Jalen Petrie, DeMeco kind of bailed him out in the way in which he uses it. But it's a good collaboration. But I do find it extremely interesting that all of the really, 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 really good moves are DeMeco moves. And outside of really Nico Collins, there's not really a lot that you can point to Nico Collins and Stingley and say, oh, Caserio really did his thing there, and Caserio brought those guys in. I think it's interesting, to say the least. And I do wonder what the offensive line looks like when DeMeco is a part of those decisions. I don't know what's up with Juice Scruggs. We'll see what happens with Juice Scruggs. Kenyon Green, I don't think he plays for the Texans again. I think we've seen the last of Kenyon Green. Titus Howard, do they eventually transition to where Blake Fisher's the guy? Who knows? But it is interesting when you look at Nick's picks before DeMeco, not too impressive. It is the Locker Room, #1 source for Texans digital content. Reminder, Friday, 4 o'clock, East Downtown. Myself and Cody Stutes, SNL. We always do the show at 4 o'clock after the final injury report. We're going to be at Big City Wings in Edo. 2240 Navigation Boulevard. They got the big-ass beers. They got some really, really good grub. They got drinks for days. And we will be live from there, giving you what you need to talk about this squad and also mingling with the fans. Probably bring some stuff to give away, too. I got a lot of stuff that I just don't want. There's a lot of like Texans hats. We'll figure something out, but just come through. Might even get the first brew. But yeah, we will be there. Spark one up for the Texans. I can spark one up. I don't need it to be for the Texans. I can spark one up. It doesn't need to be for anything.
High-grade marijuana called Kush on the streets. Did you know what that was?
You know what's up with that. But yeah, some of y'all got to work. That's cool. We're gonna get this. We're gonna get this going. Someone says you want that jersey behind me. It's made out to me, man. That would be weird. It's from JJ to Landry. That would be weird if you wanted this. What's it say? To Landry. Thanks for all the laughs and support. Signed JJ Watt, a loyal loophole from the old radio show. So that would be weird. You don't want that jersey. I can promise you. It's made out. He sent it out to a few media types when he left. But yeah, that's customized. I'm not just like framing a random ass JJ. No, we'll host another one. This is just the start. This is just kind of the trial. But we'll probably be doing this more often than not. This is just our first gathering. It's our second actually, but we'll get this going. 4 o'clock. It's interesting timing. It's just an interesting week, kind of a last thing, but we got you covered. No doubt. Dude, I go to every game, my friend. I'll be there. But yeah, we got you covered. Let's hear from DeMeco Ryans and try to figure out what the hell's going on here. DeMeco Ryans met with the media in anticipation of the Lions game. He has a really good history of bouncing back after sluggish performances. But something weird's happening with DeMeco, and we'll get to the bottom of it here in the locker room. Be sure to swarm the like button, subscribe, like right along. Take it away, Coach.
When you look at the Lions, especially the safety position, the range, and ability to pick the ball off, what do you see from Branch and Kirby?
Yeah, Branch and Joseph really, two really good young players, and they do a great job of taking the football away. I think they have about 10 interceptions between the two guys. So talk about guys who play tight coverage, in the back end, they do it really well with their man coverage. You tell the guys are well coached. Aaron does a great job with those guys, and Branch and Kirby, you believe it up there, they can go attack the football. So we're very well aware of those guys.
For you guys, as an offensive line, what would an improvement for you look like for you all?
For us, we just have to go out and execute our offense the right way.
Execute our offense.
They recently added in Darius Smith for the Cleveland Browns.
What does that mean? So there's one execute from DeMeco Ryans. Execute our offense the right way. There's one.
You got to play against him twice last year. What do you remember about him and what makes him so effective?
So Darius been a good pass rusher in his league. One thing that sticks out about him is just he rushes with power, right? He's quick, explosive, rushes with power. And of course, we have to have eyes on him at all time, be well aware that we have to make sure we're blocking him. He'll add something to that team that they're missing with Aiden not being there, and they added a quality pass rusher.
But what do you think about Goff and just how efficient he's been this season?
For Goff, I think he's very well coached. He does a great job of protecting the football, He's not going to give you many opportunities to take the ball away. He's very smart, makes great decisions with the ball. They're an explosive offense, but what sticks out about him is when the explosive is not there, he does a great job of getting the ball to his check down so their team can continue to churn out positive yardage. So it's one thing that sticks out about their entire team. Like, they don't make many mistakes, right? They're going to make you beat them, and they play clean football. So Goff has done a great job of getting completions no matter what the defense is. No, he just takes what's given, and he's been doing a very good job of that, just keeping the offense on schedule.
All right. On the super, swarming the super chat, Cesar.
You ain't never hate.
Swarm. He says, DeMeco Ryans is not himself anymore. He is fed up with media versus first day he got here. What's the vibe in there? I don't think he's fed up. I just think I just don't know that he has the answers to the questions. And he's just going to like I think he's just going to like the crutches and stuff. If let me put it this way, if DeMeco Ryans is fed up with the Houston media, with how much, like, that's a rough look, because I like, what if he would have gone to the Cowboys or even Indianapolis or Denver or something like that? This is a cakewalk. I think DeMeco's just kind of got the hardo week to week coaches thing. And I don't think he has any tangible answers of substance when it comes to the offense. But there is another interesting development, I think. So we'll hear more from DeMeco. Go ahead, Coach.
It's going to take you guys to you guys have the talent. You guys are so spurs of being able to play a half good or a couple quarters well. What do you think it's going to take you guys to be able to play the entire 4 quarters to the Texas standard?
Yeah, for us, we just got to go out and you just got to finish. We've had games this year where we finished well, some we haven't. So we just got to go out and finish. I think, the sentiment around our team, we're a good football team. We just
Who's saying they're not a good football team? We know that. You're a good football team. We agree.
Got to go out and finish football games the right way.
How would you assess Nico's progress, and what would you say his availability?
Yeah, Nico he's doing good. We'll see where he ends up.
How about Will Anderson?
Same with him. He's doing well. We'll see where he ends up.
Do you worry about, on the offensive line, just CJ's confidence and being able to do what he needs to do and not anticipating pressure when it's not there?
For our offense, we just got to go out and execute the right way.
We just got to go execute the right way. Kunkel's going to ask the follow-up here. I don't think DeMeco has answers on offense. I don't think he has the answers on offense. I think he's frustrated with it. That's what I think. I think he's frustrated with the offense. Can't blame him for it. I understand. But we got to execute. I get it. It doesn't matter what they say. It's what they do. What they've done is the same damn thing from week to week to week. We got to execute. We got to execute. We got to execute. And the reality of the situation is, and this is the good news. There's good news and there's bad news. And this is for DeMeco Ryans. The good news is DeMeco Ryans has a history of, after bad performances, he follows them up very solid. And he's always come in there confident. He's had the similar look on his face that you're looking at right now. And he has gotten the job done. More times than not, that's what DeMeco has done. And that's why I trust DeMeco Ryans. That's why DeMeco Ryans, there's no other coach I would rather cover. There's no other coach I would rather have. No matter what is going on with DeMeco, I'm a DeMeco guy. But if you lose to the Lions, and it looks like things have looked the last few weeks, and you just go up there and say execute, eventually people are going to get kind of tired of it. Now, what the hell does that mean? I don't know. Not a lot if you don't really listen to what people say. But that's the other interesting thing about this. I'm starting to wonder if maybe DeMeco listens a little bit more than he wants to admit. Let's hear some more from DeMeco, and we'll get to that here live in the locker room.
Coach, how would you assess your team halfway through the season?
We're in a good spot. I mean, right now, halfway point of our season, we're in a good spot. We're atop our division. Guys are playing good football, and I'm very pleased with where our team is. We just have to go out and finish the second half of the season. But to be where we are right now, I'm very proud of the work that our guys have done, no matter, who we've had out there. Guys have just stepped up and made plays. You know, we've lost some guys to injury. It doesn't matter. Guys have stepped up, made plays, and playing winning football. So I'm excited to see how our guys continue to push and finish the second half of the season.
The way they just run the football and the offensive line in front of them, what do you see from that combination of the blocking and the skill of the backs?
Yeah, their offensive line do a really good job of running off the football. They're big guys, big offensive linemen that cover guys up well. And, you know, credit to their backs. 2 really good backs, both, you know, Gibbs, very explosive, you know, home run runner. And then, you know, and you got the other guy who's just, man, downhill, tough, physical. So both of the guys, they run hard, they're physical. I think they may have the most yards after contact. You know, they find a way to get yards. And it's one thing for us as a defense, you know, we have to do a really good job of tackling. People have been there, they've been on these guys, but they have done a great job of making guys miss tackles. So we have to swarm, we have to tackle. It's going to take more than one person to get their backs down. They've done a really great job. Talk about a 1-2 punch. It's probably the best 1-2 punch in the league.
You want to see your team finish and execute. In your mind, what's preventing that from happening right now?
Yeah, I mean, we've been in every game we've talked about. We've been in the games. We just
did Minnesota not happen? Like, do you get a mulligan? I mean, you weren't in that. So I wouldn't say every game. Minnesota, I wouldn't say that.
You know, people, I guess it's this narrative like we're just not a good team. But
where's this narrative coming from? This is a coach who says he doesn't listen to any of the outside noise, and he says there's a narrative that they're not a good team. Who's saying they're not a good team? Where is that coming from? Where is he hearing this? That's the interesting thing for me is DeMeco kind of starting to hear the noise a little bit?
We've been in games. We just haven't made the plays that, you know, it's not from a matter of, you know, effort and those things. It's a matter of being on the details, and that's what the league is about. The team who are on the details, especially in those critical moments. You talk about third down, red zone, like the situational ball. When you're on it and you're able to make those plays, that's winning football, right? We've been on the back end of that. When we haven't won games, we haven't played well on third down, we haven't played well in the red zone, offensively and defensively. So when you win those situations, you put yourself in a good spot to win games. So when I talk about executing and playing well, it's executing in those critical moments is what we haven't done when we've lost games.
Okay. Is there a level of aggressiveness with Campbell and some of the decisions that he makes that's different from other coaches? And is there any sort of additional prep that you guys have to go through to get ready for those situations?
Yeah, we understand they're aggressive when it comes to fourth down, when it comes to their punt team, you know, fakes, like they fake it. They have trick plays offensively, offensively and on special teams, they have trick plays. So for us, it's just about playing with clean eyes, right? Being in the right spot and just playing with just great awareness, right, whenever it's a fourth down, because they will try to take advantage and control the game by winning those fourth down moments. So we just have to be on the details when it comes to that. But they are a very aggressive team. I think probably the most aggressive team on fourth down since Campbell has taken over. So it's something that we are aware of.
Did Khalil get caught up in just you having so many people at that position?
Yeah, Khalil's did a great job for us. Like when we got Khalil here, I thought he did a great job of taking advantage of his opportunity.
He did.
And he really honed in on what we were asking him to do, and he continued to get better. As he's played for us these past 2 years, he got better, and he helped us tremendously win some games, and, you know, he got better as a player. So trades and those things, they happen. Hate to lose him, but it's a good opportunity for him.
With the emphasis after the trading deadline, did you sort of go back and reemphasize, hey guys, everything is still with the dust in the room, and I'm believing in you guys regardless after the trade deadline? Did you sort of go back and reemphasize that because it's over with now?
No, I didn't emphasize anything to our team. Like, we have the guys we have. I mean, everybody thinks the trade deadline comes and you're gonna, find this guy who's going to save your team.
I agree with this.
I don't see it that way.
I agree with
that.
that.
Transactions were made across the league, and there has to be two parties available to do a trade. Everybody's antsy about trades. It's not just us going and taking somebody from another team. People have to be available, and the trade has to be on good terms for everyone. So I know everybody's in an uproar about us trading at the deadline. It's like it's not from a lack of us.
Now everybody's in an uproar. So everybody's saying that they're not a good football team, and everybody's in an uproar about them not trading at the deadline. This is Mr. I don't listen to anything. I don't hear the noise. Is DeMeco hearing the noise? I mean, I actually thought that he didn't, but I'm starting to think maybe DeMeco's kind of feeling the heat and hearing the noise a little bit. I like it. I respect it.
Working to get our
Matter
team.
of fact, what's up, DeMeco? If you're watching, my guy.
Better and improve our team, but there's no savior coming to save our team, and there has to be two parties involved in trading.
No doubt.
You an opportunity to play in the original Battle Red jerseys. What do you think of the new ones you guys will debut this
Yeah,
season?
Battle Reds they're
Reds
sweet.
are clean.
I really like it. Really like the helmets.
Red.
It's a really cool look, really updated look that I think our team has done a great job of upgrading our uniforms, and our players they really love them, and I think guys are gonna fly around. They're gonna look good on Sunday night.
Back, Jameson Williams, people talk about his speed, but when you watch the tape, where have you seen the biggest transition to his game that makes him more than just a vertical threat?
Yeah, Jameson, he jumps off the tape, of course, with elite speed down the field. Like, he's their explosive playmaker when it comes to the down the field throws, but also in the, whether it's the run game as well, they'll find a way to get him the ball on a reverse or a jet sweep. And, man, you talk about turning on the Jets. Like, this kid can fly, he can make plays, and he's another guy who we have to tackle well. He does a good job of running physical, even though he's a smaller player, but he runs the ball very physical. So I know they're excited to get him back because of the playmaking ability that he has.
You guys have played a big game, like the Bills game, the Bears game, many games this year. How big is this matchup? Is the Lions knowing that they're one of the best teams in the NFC? How big of your point is this game?
Yeah, I know no one wants to hear this, but for me, every week is a big game. Like, it doesn't change just because the Lions are coming in and whatever their record is, that doesn't change. Like, every week for me is a big game. Every game is important. This game isn't more important just because of the Lions and what they've done. They play good football. Of course, they credit to those guys. They're playing well, they're coached well, but it doesn't change our mindset, how we approach every week. Still the same every week, big game, and we're trying to go out and win this one. All right, thank you, guys.
All right, there you go. That's DeMeco Ryans, the head coach, good head coach, great head coach of the Houston Texans. And really, DeMeco has the credibility. DeMeco has the short body of work. They follow up poor performances with really good performances. And a lot of times you're like, why is this guy so calm? Why is he so confident? And then you see them take the field and you see them produce. You're like, okay, he knew. And the team responded. He does seem to be hearing the noise a little bit more. The narrative that they're not a good football team. Everybody upset about the trade deadline. Does that matter? I don't know. That's the first time I've really heard DeMeco Ryans act as if he has to defend whether this is a good football team or not. And I think that was his message to his team, because we heard CJ say the same thing. And I'm going to break down what CJ said tomorrow because I thought it was interesting. He wants to have some fun. Props to him for thinking he can have fun behind this offensive line. Man. If everybody, God bless CJ Stroud. That is always been a solid young man beyond his years. Because you ask me, I damn sure can't go play in traffic with a smile on my face. You have me run in the middle of 610 with cars coming at me. I ain't having fun. That's basically what CJ Stroud has had to do the last few weeks with this offensive line. So props to him for talking about having fun. But I do think it's interesting with DeMeco. There's talk about the offense and the defense. I think on defense, he's fine. I think he knows what he's doing. I don't know how much DeMeco has to do with the offense. I don't know how much he can control. It's kind of a helpless feeling. I think if the offense were coached as well as the defense, we're talking about an extra win or two. But I do agree with him that this is a good team. And I do think that on any given Sunday, especially with Nico Collins, I think they have a chance to overcome their weaknesses and get the job done. I think Nico Collins helps the offensive line along with Joe Mixon. I definitely think that. So I don't think it's a lost cause, but something's got to give on the offensive line. You can't continue having this happen. I mean, it's one thing if you're getting beat, but like we got to execute. The execution are the coaches executing? Are they putting them in position? From Monday, I took it as DeMeco's fine with the way that the guys are getting coached. He just doesn't like the way they're getting the job done. Do you think that all of a sudden happens? It's to be determined. But I don't know. We'll just have to see how it goes. Someone asked any update on the Nico Collins tryout. No, I don't have any update on that. Every time I think about Nico Collins, I think about that girl that he was dating before the draft that apparently died and they couldn't get into her cell phone. Her name was Throatzilla. She was like some stripper. I promise I'm not making this up. This is where I have to prove myself on this, that I'm not like some I'm pretty sure her name was like Throatzilla. Oh, this wasn't even the one who died. There was some girlfriend who died. Okay, yeah. Throatzilla is an escort who is not too pleased with Nico Collins because he won't pay her after she did some things. Richard says, did you see what Chris Sims said about the Texans? I did not. Fill me in. I saw it when I logged into YouTube. I saw Sims had something to say. I did not listen to Chris. I'll be honest. I don't really like listening to Chris as much. Someone asks, when am I going to? Someone says Throatzilla was his ex. Frank, dirty bastard, you. We'll talk to Bobby Slowick tomorrow. When am I getting Steven Nelson on the show? Someone said, just beef with Steven Nelson in his YouTube comments. Y'all should get this guy on an episode. I've interviewed Steven Nelson before. It was interesting. There were some awkward moments. I would talk to Steven Nelson. I mean, it would be entertaining conversation. It seems like he's trying to do that. I don't think you can get a bigger I know you can't get a bigger local digital platform than this one. The Locker Room is basically like what the Houston Chronicle was in the 80s. Like this is the future. But if he wanted to do that, I would talk to Steven Nelson. I think he would loosen up a little bit and have some fun. I've seen him kind of stiff on his other ones, but I would talk to Steven Nelson for sure. Ask Bobby Slowick questions. I'll tell you my 2 questions for Bobby Slowick tomorrow right now. The questions that I have for Bobby Slowick, there's 2 questions that I have for Bobby Slowick tomorrow. What time does Bobby speak? Let me check this out. It's with y'all on the go. Bobby Slowick, coordinators. All right, so practice tomorrow is 11:50, and Slowick will speak at 1:15. So 1:15. They were 30 minutes late today, by the way. I'm almost thinking that I don't know what was going on there. They were 30 minutes late. But yeah, Bobby speaks tomorrow at 1:15. My questions for Bobby Slowick are the following. Number 1, I've heard him, I've heard DeMeco, and I've heard Caserio say that after a questionable play call, that the defense just didn't give them the look that they thought they were going to get. My question is this about you not studying tape? Is this about them knowing what you're doing? Like, what exactly does that mean when it's they didn't give us the look? Because a lot of times you go up to the line of scrimmage and you're looking for a look. So I'll tighten that up and I'll ask that question. Like, what does it mean when you say they didn't give us the look that they wanted? Because the most controversial play, so I've heard all 3 of those guys say that. I'll ask him about that. The other question would be for Bobby Slowick. Why was the offensive line better last year with all the shuffling that they had as compared to this year when you had your full strength and they haven't performed as well? Why was that? And we'll see what he says to that. So that's the two questions I have for Slowik. I actually kind of enjoy listening to Bobby Slowik. A lot of people get frustrated because the adjustments has been questioned. Stutz has asked that. I'm sure it'll get asked tomorrow. But a lot of people get frustrated because he basically tells you what he was thinking when he made the mistake. But I actually kind of appreciate that. So that's the two questions I want to know from Bobby Slowik tomorrow. And that'll be at 1:15. So that's really it. Like, what I keep hearing, they didn't give us a look. Like, how do you avoid that from happening? It's confusing to me. And he'll let us know how it is. And that's really the other thing about the DeMeco thing that I think need to keep in mind. Like, I know that, sometimes the presentation that I give is like brass or whatever, but I don't, and this might not make you feel any better about it. I don't look at DeMeco Ryans as like the guy that is in charge of the offense. I think it's more of a Bobby thing. And I don't know if that's a good thing at this point or not, but we'll figure out from Bobby Slowik, and we'll see what's up with Steven Nelson. I think Steven Nelson would come on. He'd be cool. Can't be smacking gum into the mic though, like he was early on in the podcast. But yeah, Steven Nelson's cool. I mean, he's always been fine. We'll try to make that happen. And I know that he's on the digital, so I don't see why he would. Again, this is the biggest local Texans digital platform that you can roll to, and it's the kind of conversation y'all would like with Steven Nelson. I think he'd be down. I'll reach out and try to make that happen, maybe during the bye week or something. See if we can get that to go down. Y'all really like Damn It Bobby, don't you?
Damn it, Bobby.
Appreciate y'all for coming through. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to like. Be sure to ride along. Be sure to always remember, when it comes to this Texan stuff, we're all in it together. CJ Stroud says that the team needs to have more fun. We'll try to make some sense of that tomorrow. Look for that video to drop around noon. And also SNL at 9 a.m. Pawn Shop on the Super. Before I get out of here, you should ask him why CJ doesn't call an audible. Yeah, like, does he have the ability to? I mean, and I think that's connected to they didn't give us the look. I think that's another element. Like, are you not anticipating it? Is the defense find you predictable? Is CJ not seeing it and changing the play? Like, what's going on there? Appreciate y'all for coming through. Subscribe, like, right along. It is the Locker Room, #1 source for Texans digital content. Always remember, when it comes to this Texan stuff, we're all in it together. Appreciate y'all very, very much.
Localize every time, can't stop, won't stop. Yeah, we top 2 and we not too plugged in. Daily digital on YouTube. We got taste for days, opinions to give, we got takeaways. If it's up, then it's up. We #1. You don't need to try your luck. Locker room, yeah, we in the locker room. Texas talk, yeah, you know what we about to do. Localize.